Hi, my name is Dr. Alexis Moreno, and welcome to Wit and Reason. We have a very special show for you today. We are going to be hearing from a few celebrities who are working really hard to raise awareness about mental health issues and erase the stigma. I actually had an opportunity to talk with a few people at the D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services Erasing the Stigma Awards in Los Angeles, California. And today we'll be listening to Bill Duke's responses about mental health and erasing the stigma, Michael Barbee, Donald Penn, and Kathy Ireland and Alex Boye, and all of the amazing work that they're all doing to help support mental health treatment.
Welcome to Wit and Reason, hosted by psychologist Dr. Alexis Moreno. Dr. Moreno brings her expertise to providing smart and practical explanations on human behavior by interviewing diverse health experts regarding today's ever-evolving life and culture, turning social science and research into relatable, accessible, and useful information you can use. Listen now as Dr. Moreno brings a little bit of positive mental health to your day.
All right, so we're going to start off with my interview with Bill Duke. Now, Bill Duke is an actor, director, producer, writer, humanitarian, and he leads Duke Media Entertainment. He's dedicated to bringing quality edutainment, you like that? Education and entertainment in one, to audiences around the globe. Since the early 70s, Bill Duke, along with industry veterans Michael Schultz and Gordon Parks, have long paved the way for African Americans in the industry. His acting and directing credits are extensive and include stints on television series like The Falcon Crest, Fame, Hill Street Blues, Knots Landing, Dallas, and New York Undercover. His feature credits include Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit, Get Rich or Die Trying, Deep Cover, Hoodlum, Predator, Menace 2, Society, and Not Easily Broken, just, name a few. His documentaries, Dark Girls and Light Girls, both NAACP Image Award nominees. He's had this aired on OWN and were two of the most successful documentaries on the network. Now, Bill Duke is also appointed by former President Bill Clinton to the National Endowment of Humanities. He was appointed to the board of the California State Film Commission by former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger and has been honored by the Directors Guild of America with a Lifetime Achievement Tribute. Bill Duke has been busy. So let's go ahead and take a listen to learn more about what brought him to the Erasing the Stigma Awards just this past 2019 for D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services, and why he's so invested in raising awareness and erasing the stigma of mental health.
How are you feeling about being here tonight and contributing to erasing the stigma?
Well, it's a privilege to be here and to have this kind of attention brought to this issue is very important. I live downtown LA, and you go down the Skid Row, you see some pretty, unfortunately, tragic things, and it's growing. I don't know if people know this, but over 21 veterans commit suicide every day. I didn't say every week. Every day. There's something very wrong with that, and something should be done. So these kinds of events help bring attention to the issue, and that's why I'm here.
Oh, that's great. And how long have you been involved with the organization?
Well, I've been involved many years ago because I was homeless at one time and was on drugs also, and so I understand some of the pain that people face. I'm also here to support Michael Barbee, who's a friend of mine and a great filmmaker, and his film is something that I think should be celebrated, and so should he.
So you have so many motivating factors to be here tonight and to be supporting D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services.
Well, I think more people should be involved.
Yeah.
There are a lot of families, how can I say, they know their family members or children have these issues, but they don't want to expose them because it has a stigma that's not only negative, but there's something wrong with you.
Right.
And there's something wrong with all of us.
Just inherently as human beings, we all got something going on.
We're not perfect, right?
Right.
But when you have a condition that can be helped and it's not helped, there's something wrong with it. So hopefully it will change.
Right, I agree. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Can I ask you one more question? How do you challenge stigma on a day-to-day basis in your personal life?
I do something called transcendental meditation.
Oh, very nice.
And it saved my life.
Yeah.
It took me off drugs, and I haven't taken any drugs. I started in the 70s, and it's been the best thing I could have ever done. And plus, I've had some very wise people in my life, and one of the things that one of them said to me, I never forgot. He said, always remember that no one can drive you crazy unless you give them the keys.
Right. Very wise.
I ain't giving nobody my keys.
Very good. That's a very good message.
Okay, and you just heard some very wise words from Bill Duke. He's definitely in a place where he feels much more empowered to take control of his own life and not hand the keys over to anybody else. He mentioned he was at the D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services Erasing the Stigma Awards because he wanted to support William Michael Barbee. Now, William Michael Barbee is an entrepreneur, mental health advocate, and producer, writer, director of Beyond the Silence, a movie about how people with mental illness are often incarcerated instead of treated. The film is set to be screened at the 2019 Cannes Film Festival. Michael experienced abuse and other trauma throughout his childhood. When he was entering high school, his family was a victim of an arson fire that left him homeless for 2 years. He witnessed the deaths of close friends by street violence and was a target of a carjacking in college. These and other traumatic events left him struggling with severe depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. After surviving a suicide attempt at age 20, Michael received treatment and support that he credits for his recovery. Passionate about helping others with mental illness, he has written 2 books with mental health themes and serves on the Mental Health Association of Essex and Morris County's Board of Directors. In 2013, he was honored at the State of New Jersey Governor's Council on Mental Health Stigma. Now, Michael is the president, CEO of Prestige Media Productions and United 2 Care Properties. He's the founder, partner at Airmid Foundation Counseling Services, which provides mental health and substance use services to inner city communities. He also owns Prestige Tours, which helps transport people with mental illness. He is very busy. He makes a point of hiring employees within his companies who live with mental illness. And that's such a unique piece of Michael's work. So let's go ahead and take a listen in from the red carpet of the Erasing the Stigma Awards for D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services and listen to what encourages Michael to do all of this extra work.
Education. Yeah. Education to me is the leading vehicle that will eradicate the stigmas of any form of mental illness. The problem is we have so many misconceptions out here. Right. We think that people with mental illness are violent and they're this, that, and the other. Yeah. And it's everyone else, really, you know. And so if we can erase that stigma, I remember I had the fortune and honor of partnering with the Mental Health Association through one of my companies, my film company. And through their supportive employment program, I hired people with mental health issues. So one of the editors on this movie, Beyond the Silence, that's going to be over at the Cannes Film Market in next month that I'll be at, he was one who was diagnosed years ago. You know, he had attempted suicide, you know, and what he didn't know, I did too. But he's only watching me as a boss sign 60 checks every 2 weeks, not realizing that we have more in common than not. So I'm always encouraging people, if you can make it through the moment, just that moment, let it be an hour, let it be a day. God will do so many wonderful things for you.
That's absolutely really beautiful.
Well, I also write books, and one of my latest books, What's in Your Bag, and that also targets the community because I try to be more introspective. People see me as a successful businessman, filmmaker, author, but the reality, I like to tell you about the other challenges so that we can see the full scope of this. It doesn't have to be what you're thinking it is, especially at that moment.
Again, more wise words from the red carpet of the D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services Erasing the Stigma Awards 2019. We heard Michael Barbee there just leaving us off with leave more than you could take. His philosophy in life is that while you're here on earth, just do everything you can to support others and leave more than you could take. Now, we're going to transition from talking with people in the film industry to talking with someone from sports. So now we're going to hear from Donald Penn, who is a native of Los Angeles. You'll recognize him in his number 72 jersey as he plays for the Oakland Raiders. Now, Donald Penn, in addition to being an NFL player, he also has the Donald Penn Foundation, also known as Penn Pals. It was established in 2009 by Donald Penn and his lovely wife, Dominique, to help inner city youth and low-income youth in Tampa and Los Angeles. So let's take a listen to what are some of his reasons for getting involved in erasing the stigma.
Well, my PR people hit me and told me about this event, and I'm big in my foundation with doing stuff for kids. And mental health issue is a tough thing for kids. Kids are scared to come out and say stuff because they don't want to get stigmatized or get looked at different. Just like in the league, the NFL guys are big, tough guys, so they don't want to come out and say something's wrong with them. So I'm happy that NFL's helping out and they're doing stuff to help people, and the NFL's doing stuff to help people where it doesn't have to be known. It's confidential. So people got to speak up so they get help. I've been around guys in the league that I've seen that needed help, and now they got it. They're doing great. They're married, kids, family, everything. Everything's going great. So I'm just happy. I'm happy to be here and help as much as I can.
Oh, that's amazing. And thank you so much for being here.
No problem.
What advice would you give to, as you mentioned, like those tough guys, that feel that it's not safe enough for them to talk about their emotions or how they're feeling, what they're struggling with?
I would tell them to try the confidential thing, and to see how it works. Because I would tell them, I've seen people go through it, and it works out in the long run. It's a great thing in the long run to get help. It's a great thing in the long run. Stop being scared. Step out the box. Nowadays, a lot of people are stepping out the box. You got to step out the box sometimes. Get help. You got to admit to it. Nobody's going to look at you bad. Like, every locker room I've been in, we've been a good group of guys. We support each other. So if it ever came up, we're going to support you. So I just want them to step up and stop being scared.
Wow, that's great.
You can still be tough and take care of your stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. It shows a sign of strength.
Exactly.
And what do you do on a daily basis to step up and to take care of your mental health?
My motto is treat people the way I want to be treated. So I try to live my life that way. So, I try to always come positive. I have 4 kids of my own, so I'm always trying to help them and have them positive, teach them how to treat people, teach them things about life. So I just do that stuff. And I have a foundation that's just surrounded about kids. I'm doing my 10th annual football camp in June. It's a free football camp, and I've done it, and I just love helping do things with kids and try to help out where I can.
Okay, we just heard from Donald Penn, who says you can still be tough and take care of your stuff, and he's absolutely right. Donald Penn has been working really hard both with kids and even just within the NFL with his colleagues to just say, hey, you know what? Even if you're in a tough industry like football, regardless of your sex or gender, it's really important for everyone to take the time to take care of their mental health. And Donald mentioned that the NFL is working really hard to provide mental health services that are confidential for people so they feel comfortable to go in and talk with a mental health professional about whatever is going on in their life. Now, on that note, we're also going to be talking to Kathy Ireland. Now, Kathy Ireland, you probably know her as a supermodel. She's also the chair, CEO, and chief designer of Kathy Ireland Worldwide, a global design and brand marketing firm that she founded in 1993. Earlier this year, Kathy joined the board of directors of the NFL Players Association's marketing and licensing arm. So that's the NFL Players Incorporated. Now, Kathy and let's see, the License Global magazine KIWW, support many nonprofits, including the YWCA Greater Los Angeles, for which she is an ambassador, the Dream Foundation, Providence Educational Foundation, 911 for Kids AEF, and the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Kathy is also an ambassador for the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation. So let's go ahead and listen in to what inspires Kathy to be so proactive in all of these organizations, and especially the D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services organization, and working with people within the NFL as well. She's got a lot going on, so let's take a listen.
Because it is a huge problem. I don't know anyone who's not impacted by mental health, suicide. It touches all of our lives tragically. There's more people in America who die each year from suicide than automobile accidents. And with our military veterans, the VA estimates that 22 veterans a day take their own lives. So it is tragic, and it impacts everyone, no matter your age, socioeconomic situation, it's everyone.
Yeah, and not even just thinking about those people who are directly impacted, but even their loved ones, their family members.
It's devastating. It touches all of us. And I think when people are struggling with mental health issues and with thoughts of suicide, it can feel so lonely, and that there's just no way out. And there's hope, there's help, your life is valued and valuable, and so I just encourage people to get help. I love the D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services. I love this night, Erasing the Stigma, and it's a tremendous honor to serve as on the board of directors for the NFLPA, and I'm so proud of the work being done by NFLPA in erasing this stigma and really proactively getting the word out about getting help when it's needed.
Right, especially within a subcultural group where there's an expectation to be tough and to just, man up and deal. And so what is it like for you working within the NFL specifically with that community to try to increase awareness about mental health and erase stigma?
Well, it's an incredible honor to work with this group, but I really believe that the last 25 years of my life in building our company and going through more failures than there's time to talk about has prepared me for the responsibility of serving on this board. So it's a privilege to really kind of fight for and protect these awesome players, and whether it's bringing them opportunities or fighting for their health, both physically and mentally, it's a tremendous privilege.
Thank you so much for the work that you do. And just one more question, what do you do on a day-to-day basis to boost your mental health?
What I do is I honor my priorities. The days that I don't, I'm a disaster. Coping skills are out the window. So for me, my priorities are my faith and my family, and then being of service through the work. And that's how I start my day. And if I don't, I've blown it by 8 o'clock. I'm just apologizing to everybody because what comes out of my mouth is not nice.
You can tell that Kathy Ireland is just so passionate about the work that she does. Now, she mentioned a few times the NFL Players Association, the National Football League Players Association. Now, that's the union for professional football players in the National Football League, and they have implemented several initiatives to address health and wellness, specifically the mental health and wellness of their players and their families. So they actually have their newest branded campaign. It's called Your Mind, Your Body, Your Health, and it's an online forum that encourages an open dialogue on issues such as depression and suicide, while debunking many of the common myths and barriers to mental health treatment. So we're going to have a link to this resource on our website at witandreason.com. You're going to want to take a look at it because you could go through the voices of players and their families. This campaign increases awareness throughout the wellness community, and they've dedicated 800 players and their families services and information for mental health and wellness resources. And they even provided an internal crisis management protocol for staff members that are trained to respond when faced with a crisis involving a player or his family. So it definitely sounds like the National Football League is doing a lot to help take a holistic perspective on serving players and their families while partnering with organizations that serve the larger community, like D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services in Los Angeles, California. All right, and just as a reminder, Alex Boye is a truly multicultural artist of Nigerian descent. Alex was raised in London, where he began his music career in the successful European boy band Awesome, before moving to the U.S. to pursue a career as a solo artist. He has raised money for many causes by the way of his music and maintained a message of positivity and perseverance in his lyrics. His latest single, Bend Not Break, produced by Randy Jackson, is closely tied to the cause behind Suicide Prevention Week and carries a message of hope and awareness for those struggling with mental illness. So let's go ahead and check in with Alex Boye, since he was being awarded at the Erasing Stigma Awards for the D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services in Los Angeles.
My whole mantra is just be what the happiest version of you can be. And what I've noticed is that the more I try and do that, I fail many times, but the more I try and do that, I see a step up in my life, in just experiences and things that happens, and so, yeah, it's an honor to be here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so how do you feel about the award?
This is, it's one of those things that doesn't hit you until like the next day when you're sitting eating breakfast. You're like, was I really there?
Right.
That's kind of what it feels like. But it's such an honor.
A little surreal.
Yeah, and my goal with music and what I want to do with music, when you get these type of awards, it actually brings me closer to my goal. So I'm very honored, about that, because it's almost like people take you seriously about your desires to do what you've been saying that you've been doing.
Right.
So, and that's a huge honor,
And we had an opportunity to interview you for DC Radio before, so we heard all about what
That's
motivated
awesome.
Bend Not Break.
Yes.
And what is it like for you now, especially as a musician, being amongst other, creatives who are helping to erase the stigma?
Yeah, I think this is awesome because, I really love to be around certain people that inspire me, And you know what they say about your 5 people that you surround yourself with, Surround yourself with greatness, hopefully it will brush off.
Yeah.
So I'm surrounding myself with greatness here, and it's brushing off, I'm telling you.
Oh, that's great. That's great. It's an overall positive experience
Absolutely.
here at the D.D. Hirsch Erasing the Stigma Leadership Awards.
Absolutely.
Yes, Alex Boye was on the red carpet looking very stylish with some really fun, flashy gold shoes. And not only did he get a leadership award, but he also performed at the event and did an amazing job. We'll be posting the video of him and his performance on our website at witandreason.com. And as Alex mentioned, it was just so inspiring to be around so many people that are working so hard to raise awareness about mental health and decrease the stigma around it. And everyone was just so authentic in sharing their stories about their personal experiences struggling with trauma or homelessness, drug addiction, suicide of their friends and family. And it was really refreshing to hear everyone just be really open about those experiences as they actively practice erasing the stigma by just speaking up about what they have personally gone through. So it was an amazing experience. Erasing the Stigma Awards by D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services in Los Angeles, California. You can put all of these fabulous celebrity tips into action today. Visit witandreason.com to get access to the resources we shared on today's show and to connect with me, Dr. Alexis Moreno. Did you hear something on the show that you can relate to on a personal level? Share your story. Send us your recording on witandreason.com/speakup, and we may be able to post it on our Erasing the Stigma show page to help others navigate mental illness, drug addiction, suicide prevention, all of these very complicated topics. A special thank you to DC Radio and D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services. And of course, thank you all for watching. Stay posted on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at Wit and Reason and DC Radio for our next show. I'm Dr. Alexis Moreno. Let's keep the conversation going.
You've been listening to Wit and Reason with psychologist Dr. Alexis Moreno. For more information, visit witandreason.com.